Welcome to the Fixit channel, and on this channel we'll have this week a series on making backups. What does it mean and how to do a real backup that will save your files in case of disaster. As a tech guy, I can tell you that I've seen over the years so many people lose all of their data and just not have anything because they didn't understand what a real backup was all about. For example, a story I always tell is a woman in the first years that I was doing my tech jobs. A woman that actually got was actually making translations of books for the federal government here. And when I actually fixed her computer once, I had told her, well, with the type of job you're doing, very important thing that you should have is a backup of your files because 500 page, for example, book that you try to translate and that's you don't have any backup of is not a good idea. So of course, that person had good intentions and she bought an external hard drive because I told her to buy that, and well, that would have a automatic backup system. And what happened is about a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks after that visit, she calls me up Saturday morning, a little in panic, and she's like, "Well, my computer has a black screen. It says no boot device," and she's wondering what's happening. And of course, I did, go there and check it out, and hard drive was dead, and dead in a way that it was impossible to recover anything. So the first thing she looked at me and she said, "Hey, I've just finished translating a 600-page book that I have to turn over Monday morning for my job." And I told her, well, if you don't have a backup, you lost the book. And, I could see the despair, and I did see over the years people, crying over data lost on their PCs. And, you got to understand that a backup is important. Your computer isn't eternal, and it's not something that you got to expect that every time you turn it on, it actually works. It's a little more complicated than that. So basically, backups in the basic form consist of having your files on at least 2 different places. That's the minimum. Don't do like I see sometimes people are actually, taking their stuff and putting it on an external hard drive, but they're removing it from their PC and they think that's a backup. That's not a backup. That's just putting your files on an external hard drive that might fail at any time. Hard drives fail, thumb drives fail. It's very important to understand that. Minimum 2 places at once. Your PC and external hard drive. Your PC and the cloud. Even better, your PC, an external hard drive, and the cloud. And some people will say, well, isn't that a little too much? Think about it. Have it on your PC and you have it on an external hard drive or a USB thumb drive. You get stolen or your house goes on fire. Well, you've lost everything. Having a cloud backup is nice because if that happens, well, you have the possibility of getting that information back from a cloud backup, which is online. So, the types of backups that I usually talk about with clients say that, you have just a few files and, a few dozen pictures and stuff like that, and it's really, really almost nothing that you have. Well, often what I'll say is, well, buy a USB thumb drive and from time to time manually make a copy of your files on your external hard drive, your external thumb drive. Of course, keeping the files in the computer also. So for a very small amount of data, up to 1 or 2 gigabytes of data, I'd say, that could be a way of doing things. The only thing about that is that you have to do it from time to time to update your thumb drive. You got to remember to plug it in and once in a while, update with the new stuff that you've got. So that would be one of the first types of backup, the easy one where you just do it manually when you don't have a lot of stuff. Then you have the possibility to do the same with a hard drive, but usually if you go on the hard drive path and you buy, a 1 terabyte or 500 gigabyte or more drive, what I will usually say is, well, with a hard drive, yeah, you can do it manually, but if you start having like 10 or 20 or 30 gigabytes, it is kind of tedious. It's, long. You got to wait for that transfer to finish. So I will often rather say, well, if you have a hard drive, let's do it automatically. In Windows 7, there's a backup system. In Windows 8, Windows 10 also. Windows 10 has file history. Or you can use a third-party software that will do it for you. But the idea of having it automatic is that, well, you don't have to think about it. It's done automatically. With a desktop, it's even easier. You can leave the hard drive plugged in all the time. On a laptop, you'll have to remember to sometimes plug your hard drive to make sure that you have a backup. And basically, that's pretty much how it works. And with a hard drive, it's easy because you don't have to think about it most of the time. Finally, cloud backup. Cloud backup is another way of doing it. It can be done automatically also, can be done manually. The advantage, like I said, about cloud backup is that it's on the internet somewhere, so if you lose everything, you at least know that somewhere on the internet you've got your files and your pictures. Now, one of the sides that I hear regularly about cloud backup from a lot of people is, oh yeah, but what about if they snoop on my files? First of all, most of the people that will tell me that don't even have anything that's really that important to snoop on, but it is something that people, generally say, well, it's somewhere on the cloud and I don't know what's happening with it. So you have different options. You can use, for example, a OneDrive. OneDrive is the Microsoft backup, but that one is not encrypted. So OneDrive just puts your files there. And of course, you can retrieve them if you want. You can have it done automatically if you want. But of course, not encrypted means, yeah, technically an employee at Microsoft or somebody could snoop on the data you have there. So is there a safe way to do a cloud backup? Yes, there is. If you pay for some services like Carbonite, for example, you can have a cloud backup that is encrypted. And for example, Carbonite warns you, if you do a backup, don't lose your password, because we cannot retrieve your data if your password's lost. Because over there, it's a big blob of data. They have no idea what's inside. And your password is part of the key to decrypt the files that are there. So they are telling you, you lose your password, we can't do anything. You've lost everything. So, there are secure options. If you're a business user, for example, that might be the option. So, all of these are options. But remember, at least 2 different places at once. Even better, add a third one, which is a cloud, and you will never lose your files. So that's the basics, and we'll have this week several options. I'll be showing real live ways of doing it, from the manual way all the way up to the automatic stuff and the cloud backups. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Hope you enjoy our videos, and thank you for watching our videos on this channel.